Hello, you're watching New Vision TV News. I am Ruth Inasij and we're live from the New Vision newsroom. Here we're going to look at stories making headlines across the country, stories across East Africa and those across the world. In our special report today, we are going to give you how the Bombardier will help the Uganda Airlines. Now let us start with the news around Uganda. From Namaingo district, the government has set aside 2.6 billion shillings for the construction of Mwema Seed Secondary School in Mulombe Village, Mutumba Sub-County. Stephen Mayende, the MP of Boholi South constituency, said one challenge that the school will address is of school dropouts, which is rife in the area. During the groundbreaking of the construction of the institution, Mayende said that many schoolgoers have not been continuing with secondary education after completing primary education. Some who managed to join secondary school have dropped out along the way because of having to move long distances to get to school. Let's move on to Buyende district. Now plans are underway to kick rabies out of Uganda by the year 2030. Dr. Anna Rose Okurt, the Commissioner of Animal Health in the Agriculture Ministry, said now she made the revelation during the World Veterinary Day celebrations at the Buyende district grounds in Buyende Town Council on Friday. Okurt said tackling rabies would involve ensuring that dogs are healthy. Now dogs are friends of humanity, so they should be kept healthy. Vaccinate them against rabies and wash them to keep our fleas, she appealed. Now the theme for this year's World Veterinary Day celebrations was value of vaccination. News coming in from Bulisa. Over 300 adults and girls have received free skills training and a program funded by Baylor Uganda. Catherine Mbabazi, an official from Baylor, said they would select more girls in groups of 100 and train them in different skills for 6 months. The training targets teenage mothers and girls who have dropped out of school. The assistant school inspector in Bulisa, Sophia Kabonesa, said the dropout rate in the area is at 60%, while that of early pregnancies stands at 80%. News coming in from Toro District. The Minister of State for Local Government, Jennifer Namyanga, has cautioned village council leaders to steer clear of matters that are beyond their jurisdiction. She warned chairpersons against allowing, watching or presiding over early marriage functions, a problem that is rampant in many villages. Namyangu, who was speaking during a fundraising drive for the completion of St. James Church of Uganda in Sop Sub-County, advised the leaders to instead play a leading role in curbing child marriages. The minister, who represented Speaker of Parliament Rebecca Kadaga as chief guest, also urged one chairpersons to collaborate with sub-county leaders to ensure that all church schoolgoers remain in school to complete the education cycle. She also thanked Toro District local government to enacting End Early Marriages and Education Improvement Campaign ordinances. News from Aliptong District. The United States Agency for International Development, USAID, has lauded Uganda for its efforts in fighting malaria. The agency commended the government for distributing the mosquito nets as well as timely diagnosis and effective treatment of malaria. USAID Country Development Corporation Director Mame Niang said efforts to fight malaria has reduced the mortality rates of children below the age of 5 by 34% and brought the general prevalence rate down from 42% to 19%. This was during the World Malaria Day function held at Aliptong grounds last week. Now, Niang said the U.S. had invested over $380 million, which is about 1 trillion shillings, in malaria prevention and treatment in Uganda over the last 13 years. Moving on to Lango Sub-Region, now parliamentarians from Lango Sub-Region are divided over the election of Betty Amongi Ogom as chairperson of Lango Parliamentary Group. Amongi, the Oyam South Member of Parliament, who is also the Lands Minister, was elected as the new chairperson of Lango Parliamentary Group, a coalition of members of Parliament from Lango Sub-Region. She replaced Felix Okot Ongom, an NRM MP from Doholo South. Amongi stood sued against Dennis Hamson Obua, an NRM candidate for Ajuri County, and Jonathan Oduo, a UPC candidate from Eritu South. She got 10 votes, while Obua and Odu got 6 and 3 votes respectively. The MPs did not cast their votes for various reasons. Now, during the election, other office bearers who took office include Paul Omori Omiat, an NRM candidate from Dohoro North, as vice chairperson, Doreen Omori, an NRM candidate, and woman MP of Amrata district, as general secretary, Judith Alek, an NRM candidate, and woman member of parliament, Kwale district, as treasurer, and Dennis Hamson Obua as publicity secretary. Now all went through unopposed. One MP who spoke on condition of anonymity said that the policy of Lango parliamentary group is that a government minister should not be the chairperson. Cecile Otimogwal, an FDC MP from Eritu North, said the election was long overdue, but was concerned that a government minister was elected to head the coalition because it is a pressure group. Now, some news from Biyanda district. Residents are angry over the closure of an old community access route that previously passed through the council headquarters territory. One resident of Butalenga village, Abel Bulamos, said the neighboring communities now lack a link to the urban center. He said they now have to use a longer swampy stretch. Users of the route who were unaware of the development were forced to turn back after realizing there was no more way through. Some got stuck in muddy sections of the road, while commuter taxi driver Sula Mukwana complained that his vehicle ran out of fuel as he tried to do a U-turn upon realizing the road was blocked. Robert Zidibasanga, the district chairperson, revealed that the district council budgeted for the partial fencing of the headquarters premises during the current financial year. Closing off the news around Uganda is a story from Mukono district, where the Mukono diocese has introduced a grand project that is expected to help Christians free themselves from the jaws of poverty. The initiative involves giving out free improved breeds of pigs and to parishes, churches, and individual Christians. The Bishop of Mukono Diocese, James William Sebagala, said this project has seen 60 parishes receive 2 female improved breeds of pigs worth 300,000 shillings. He said they started the project with 17 million shillings, which was accumulated from a sugarcane project at Nakanyonyi Farm in Nambale sub-county. That is it for the news around Uganda. Now let us take a look at the news around East Africa and around the world with Lynn Komjeshe.
Hello, you're watching New Vision TV. This is news around East Africa. We begin with news coming in from Rwanda. Now, Egypt's national airline, Egypt Air, has launched flights to Kigali. According to officials in Rwanda, the development will boost trade between the two countries. Flights from Kigali to Cairo are scheduled for Fridays and Sundays, while flights from Cairo to Kigali are scheduled for Thursdays and Saturdays, with stopovers at Entebbe International Airport in Uganda. In Kenya, leaders have clashed over Deputy President William Ruto's church donations. The anti-Ruto faction demanded for an audit to discover the source of the huge donations, asking the church to support the war on corruption by questioning the source of these donations. On the other hand, the pro-Ruto faction said there's nothing wrong in public display of generosity. The remarks were made during the Kotu prayer day at St. Stephen's Ark in Nairobi. In Tanzania, President John Pombe Magufuli has re-echoed the commitment by government to work with different religious denominations in the country. Magufuli said that Tanzania has no state religion and that the different religions are significant partners in building a stable society and economy. JPM made the remarks at Mbeya City as he installed the Roman Catholic Archbishop of Mbeya Metropolitan Diocese, Gervais Nyaisonga. In Uganda, the National Drug Authority has given a green light to the use of a new anti-malaria drug in the treatment of the country's leading cause of death. The new drug, Piramax, is manufactured by South Korean company Shinpong Firm. The firm says it has invested 15 years of research and innovation in the development of the drug. It also adds that the drug is a single dose that is supposed to be completed in 3 days, and malaria patients do not have to fast eat before taking the medicine. News from South Sudan. The South Sudan government has revealed that the political unrest in Sudan is affecting oil production in the world's youngest nation. It is reported that the protesters had closed Port Sudan, which is the only gateway for South Sudan's oil to the international market. However, ruling Sudanese Transitional Military Council dismissed the claim, saying oil production and shipment is ongoing as usual. Away from East Africa, we take a look at what's making headlines elsewhere in the world. We start off with China. At the opening of the second Belt and Road Forum Friday, China's President Xi Jinping said connecting nations that can then work together to create a more prosperous future is one of the central aims of the Belt and Road Initiative. He stressed it as all about forging a global connectivity partnership to achieve common development and prosperity. Nearly 40 heads of state, including Russian President Vladimir Putin, Italian Prime Minister Giuseppe Conte, and Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan attended. A total of $64 billion in deals were concluded and signed during the forum. Since the initiative was launched in 2013, trade volume between China and participating countries has exceeded $6 trillion, with investments of more than $80 billion and creation of 300,000 jobs. Uganda is one of the countries participating in Belt and Road Initiative. News from Kuwait. FIFA will hold talks with human rights groups about issues associated with expanding the 2022 World Cup in Qatar, as football's governing body seeks to find at least one more country in the region to co-host the tournament. A sense of hope now abounds in Kuwait following recent attempts to expand the 2022 World Cup. FIFA President Gianni Infantino held World Cup talks with Kuwait's Emir Sheikh Sabah Al Hamad Al Sabah recently in a bid to expand the tournament to 48 teams from 32. Qatar is currently working on a 32-team tournament and is completing 8 stadiums over a 48-kilometer radius. However, FIFA President Gianni Infantino is hoping to secure approval in June to expand the marquee event from 32 to 48 teams. A FIFA feasibility study has already determined that jumping from 64 to 80 games would require 2 stadiums in at least one more country in the region. News from the United Arab Emirates. One of the 2 men suspected of spying for the United Arab Emirates in Turkey has committed suicide in prison. Reports in Turkey's Haberturk say the suspect hanged himself in prison on Sunday. The state-run Anadolu agency has confirmed the death. The Justice Ministry said they believe he used his clothes, his pajamas, to hang himself. We continue to follow developments in Sri Lanka. Now, authorities in Sri Lanka Monday banned women from wearing face veils under an emergency law put in place after deadly attacks by Islamist militants. The measures would help security forces identify people as a hunt for any remaining attackers, and their support network continues across the Indian Ocean island. But there are concerns within the Muslim community that a prolonged ban could fuel tensions in the religiously diverse nation that emerged from a civil war with ethnic minority Tamil separatists a decade ago. Officials have warned that the militants behind the April 21st suicide bombings on hotels and churches that killed over 250 people were planning one more attack using a van and bombers disguised in military uniforms. In Mozambique, the United Nations will grant Mozambique and the Comoros Islands $13 million in emergency funds to help provide food and water and repair damage to infrastructure. The organization said late Sunday after the second cyclone in a month slammed into the region. Now, Cyclone Kenneth crashed into the northern province of the southern African nation Thursday, just as it was recovering from Cyclone Idai that hit farther south last month. Idai, the worst tropical storm to hit the region in decades, moved into neighboring Zimbabwe and Malawi, killing more than 1,000 people. Weather experts are warning that Kenneth could dump twice as much rain on northern Mozambique as Idai did. It has already killed 5 people as it unleashed heavy rains and flooding that has seen rivers burst their banks and smash whole villages. In Sudan, Sudanese student Ala Saleh emerged as a singing symbol of the protest movement that toppled leader Omar al-Bashir and now insists she will keep demonstrating until civilian rule is secured. The 22-year-old engineering and architecture undergraduate shot to prominence when a picture of her in a white robe leading chanting crowds from atop a car in Khartoum went viral on social media. Shortly after April the 11th, the army ousted longtime leader Bashir, but since then, a 10-member military council has resisted calls to hand over power to civilians. Every evening, Salah joins the crowd still camped out around the army headquarters in the capital, leading thousands of demonstrators in singing out their calls for change. Portraits of Salah, dubbed Kandaka or Nubian Queen online, have appeared on murals across Khartoum in the wake of Bashir's fall. That's the latest around East Africa and around the world with Milim Komjisha. I leave you with Ruth Nasaje taking a look at today's pullouts.
Thank you, Lynn, for the news around the world and around East Africa. Now let us take a look at the pullout news that is coming out in tomorrow's copy of the New Vision, which is Tuesday now. Her vision says, conquering the male world of borders. You're going to meet a lady beating the odds in a male-dominated field. Also, don't miss the advice from experts on relationship tips. Also in the New Vision, you will have the oil and gas pullout. We'll have oil exploration in Ingasso starts. Then Uganda seeks over 1,500 welders from oil sector. And Minister calls for more security in the oil and gas sector. We have those stories and more in the pullouts of the Tuesday paper. So get that copy at only 2,000 shillings. You're still watching New Vision TV News, and in our Daily Pearl of Africa series, we look at Misawa Island. Now, this island is known to be spiritual since women are prohibited from going there. However, men and snakes are said to be living here harmoniously. The island has got various features that are interesting to explore, such as birds, rocks, people, trees, among so many others. Let us take a look. The sights and sounds of Misawa Island are one of those breathtaking places you will live to remember. And for those men who have never been here, your next vacation destination must be Misawa Island. In the central region of Uganda, in the heart of Rakai district, is where Misawa Island lies. This island is estimated terrain elevation above sea level is 1,134 meters. For those who can find Kasenso landing site, Misawa is about 5 kilometers off the shores of Sangobe region in Lake Victoria. Being located in the central region of Uganda, the Baganda tribe are the most dominant, and they named the island Misawa, which means a spirit or a demon. This is the major reason why women are not allowed to come to this island. The myth came about since women tempt men into sexual temptations. The men, birds and snakes live here harmoniously at the island as they enjoy
the cool breeze. Here, they are accompanied by interesting features worth exploring, such as the lake, rocks, trees, to mention but a few. Blessed with a bird population of about 150,000, Mozambique is considered as an important bird area. The most dominant are the grey-headed gull, the long-tailed cormorant, greater cormorant, and the little egret. These egrets lie on the water and create a magical sight that you can barely find anywhere in the country. And when they decide to fly, oh God. This type of bird is believed to fly to Europe during summer and return to Uganda during the winter. For the reptiles, they are said to have a great bond with the people. It is estimated that 2,000 reptiles are on this island. These include African rock pythons, cobras, vipers, and monitor lizards, and it is believed that they have never harmed anyone. In the rocks is where they live and even hatch eggs. For the birds, resting above the rock is what they can do the whole day. They enjoy the view of the water and also catch the sun. It explains the white face of the rocks. The white-faced leaf can also be observed above some houses and the crown of trees, as nests also grace the heavens. Imagine waking up to these all days of your life. Beautiful creatures surrounding you and the water breeze contributing to your livelihood. The major economic activity at Misawa Island is fishing, though a few people engage in farming. Locals wake up to draw their nets as they prepare to embark on the next catch. Sailing on its waters is not so different from other water bodies, but what is unique are the birds that rest and swim on it. Now, besides fishing, bird watching and nature walks, boat rides, sport fishing are some of the activities you can engage in while here. So till our next adventure.
Now, for more Pearl of Africa stories, visit our website, which is newvision.co.uk/Pearl of Africa. You can also get the copy of the Sunday Vision and explore more on more Pearl of Africa stories. But now, let us take a look at the business in the Handshake with Lynn Komjisha.
Well, hello there. My name is Lynn Komjisha. The government is drafting a law in which it will transfer the regulation of mobile money services to Bank of Uganda. This is an interesting move. I have with me Edna Ruth Maviro, who is the editor of business here at New Vision. Edna, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Lynn.
Wow. What have they been waiting for?
They have been doing it jointly with UCC.
Oh, yes.
Yes, you know, mobile money is a telecom service.
Absolutely.
Yes, so the regulator, the major regulator has been the Uganda Communications Commission. Two things to note. When, of course, UCC is in charge of the telecoms,
right? But
they have taken off and run so far ahead. You see, they are now offering services, financial services.
Financial services, yes.
When they came in, they were offering voice, then data. Now, mobile money was about transferring. But now you have a savings product, you have a loans product. These are primarily services that are offered by banks, you see. So I think that move is to be more in control of these, because these services are offered by financial services mostly, so by financial service provider institutions mostly. But now they need to get involved, because this telecom industry has moved so fast and jumped into the financial services.
It's taking over.
You know, they have you remember a time when we were talking about we need to increase the number of bank accounts. Mobile money came and overshot the mobile money accounts right now. I don't know if the banking sector is going to catch up soon.
I saw that last year alone, 64 trillion shillings was transacted through mobile money. Now, this is almost twice our national budget.
So you can imagine the importance of this thing. You know, this is money moving and paying for stuff, and you know, you no longer need to go to the bank to pay your bills.
I can't remember the last time I was at the bank. I can't.
Do you need to go there?
I don't.
You can do things online. You can find your bank online, but then the link to your mobile money is so convenient. So I think this is really to come in and control this segment. It is really financial services, and that is the docket of the Bank of Uganda.
So how will it change anything? I mean, the mobile money handling, since it is UCC that has been solely in charge. Now it is Bank of Uganda.
I think it will. I don't think the UCC will get out of this because they are a telecom company.
Yes,
you see,
yes.
I think they'll just have to streamline the way they, like, where do I
draw the line?
Draw the line that this is a UCC area to control, and this is a Bank of Uganda issue to deal with. Yeah, so I think that's what they are trying to streamline. And also because Bank of Uganda, if Bank of Uganda is the supervisor of this service or is very involved in this service, you and I are better protected, you see, because there are the guys in charge of keeping all the money, all the financial institutions in check.
Yes.
And these guys have evolved into financial services, really. Fine, they're working with banks because the loan service is done with a bank. But, I mean, they're really the ones giving us this service.
I still don't know. Will Bank of Uganda manage?
They will. They definitely will.
Okay.
By the time this law is put in place, when they have the expertise, you'll be amazed with the people you find in there.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Have they had enough experience with mobile money? Have they studied? Have they done research?
They have.
Okay.
Yeah, that you'll be amazed that. Let me give you an example to show you that they keep tabs on these things.
Okay.
You know, they have people that are looking into cryptocurrencies and how to work with them, you see. So mobile money has been here much longer than cryptocurrencies. So they have worked with
and
the
I think they've also evolved.
Yeah. And by the time you're thinking about making it into a law, you have done your homework. Yes.
Oh.
So I think it's a good thing.
It's a good thing. Are there going to be any implications on the mobile money,
we'll
users?
have to wait and see, or we'll have to check what is in the law. I think the service itself, maybe not. I think it's more supervisory.
Okay.
Yes, it's more supervisory. So I think the conversation will be between the telcos and the Bank of Uganda and UCC.
Wow, I can't wait to hear that conversation because mobile money is very, very, very deep.
Yeah, it is a big deal.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Lynn.
Thank you, Lynn. In our special report today, we pose a question. Will Bombardier work for Uganda Airlines? Now, revived Uganda Airlines has opted for Bombardier CRJ 900 planes to start off its operations. Skeptics have laughed off the 76-seater jets, saying they are too small to be proud about. But New Vision TV looks critically at the chances of the CRJ 90 sustainability for the challenge at hand.
CRJ means Canadian Regional Jet. Its manufacturer, Bombardier Aerospace, says it is the most successful regional jet in the world, and there are now almost 2,000 CRJs in operation worldwide. By design, the CRJs are meant to fly short-haul routes, both taking passengers to regional destinations and also delivering them to connection hubs where they board larger airlines for longer flights. The busiest and possibly most lucrative route in the East Africa is Entebbe, Nairobi. The The flying distance between Entebbe and Nairobi is a mere 500 kilometers, lasting less than an hour, and it would be recklessly wasteful to deploy on it a large plane with a capacity of more than 100 passengers, as it would arrive before reaching its cruising altitude, thereby burning huge amounts of fuel. It would be like driving a car permanently in first gear. Aviation experts told New Vision TV that if a CRJ gets 22 passengers on the Entebbe-Nairobi route, it would break even. From the 23rd passenger, it would start making an operating profit. Uganda Airlines CEO, aeronautical engineer Ephraim Bagenda says he's aiming at getting 25% of the passengers through Entebbe, currently 2 million a year. It is highly likely that Uganda Airlines would be able to get more than 22 passengers on each of its Entebbe-Nairobi flights. Currently, the route is operated by Kenya Airways, who have 7 daily flights. Rwandair is also flying the route, designated by the Republic of Uganda since the closure of Air Uganda. When Uganda Airlines starts flying, Uganda government will obviously withdraw Rwandair from the route. When Kenya Airways was alone on the route, it was doing 12 flights a day. The scheduled flights, called frequencies, are shared on reciprocal basis. If Kenya Airways remains with 7 flights a day, Uganda Airlines will also have a right to fly 7 flights to Nairobi daily. The prospects for Uganda Airlines therefore look good even in the short run. 60% of the passengers through Entebbe are Ugandans, numbering 1.2 million a year. Many of these are flying to Nairobi. And although there is no requirement for Ugandans to fly Uganda Airlines, once it is certified and cleared by the International Civil Aviation Organization and Uganda's Civil Aviation Authority, the national carrier will be as good and as safe as any other in the world. Ugandans will have the advantage of paying for it in local currency, and at least all government officials on official travel will be compelled to fly Uganda Airlines. And if the pricing is right, Uganda Airlines will stand a big advantage on regional routes.
And that's all I had for you. Thank you for watching. Be sure to catch more news updates and other programs here on New Vision TV by visiting our website, which is newvision.co.ug/video. You can also follow us on social media. Facebook is The New Vision, Twitter is @NewVisionWire, Instagram is @NewVisionWire, and our YouTube channel is New Vision TV. Catch up with me on my Twitter handle. I am Ruth, the voice. Thank you for watching.